For over 50 years, psychic medium Sharon has dedicated her life to helping people from all over the world using her special gifts. The following examples are just some of the recorded, verified, and dated forecasts that can be found on her Patreon webpage, Cryptovision. Now, let's get started.
Focus in on the Seattle area. What impressions do you get as far as the disruption or the darkness in the Seattle area, Seattle-Tacoma?
I get an emotion of fear, a lot of hopelessness.
Will the Seattle
like,
area be quarantined, locked down?
I think big parts of it definitely will be quarantined because I see people are not going out and they don't want to go out.
Well, let's drop down to Portland, which is another major airport hub.
Okay.
So drop down to Portland area.
No, Portland's not good either, but Portland has a different feeling. Portland's makes me really sick in my stomach. It's a whole different feeling in Portland. This city, are there more young people in Portland percentage-wise versus Seattle, or do you know?
There's a lot of younger progressives there. Yeah, it's known
because I feel more anger, more rebelliousness here, but it's still very black, very negative, but it makes me very sick at my stomach because of the intensity of the anger and rebelliousness.
Will Portland be put on quarantine, yes or no?
Yes, it looks like Seattle is first. Seattle areas around Seattle first, and then Portland afterwards. Not a long time afterwards. But there's more trouble in Portland in that there's more, for instance, if there are enforced curfews and confinement, there's more resistance here. So there could be possibly riots because I see all the anger here, resentment and rebelliousness, and not so much with older people that are more mature, but with younger people. There's an issue here. In Portland, there's resistance. There's people that are really angry about it, not being able to get out like they want to. It feels younger to me. So I see more violence there at some point because of this resistance.
What kind of time frame are we looking at for these things to start happening? Within a month, soon rather than later, or when?
Seattle might be sooner than that. Portland follows Seattle, maybe a week or two, a couple weeks after Seattle. But Seattle's getting close to doing something serious. Oakland doesn't look good either. Oakland has a little bit more of the energy I saw in Portland. We do see damage from water and flooding, mostly. Some wind, but mostly water and rain and flooding in coastal areas on the looks to be eastern side, southeastern parts of Cuba, rather than from the west. Looks to be hitting from the southeasternly area rather than southwestern.
Spirit did talk about one hurricane that would come up on the inside of the Florida Panhandle between Alabama and the Florida Panhandle. Is that still?
There could be some flooding, not severe winds because it's not a high category it doesn't develop into a major hurricane.
Okay.
Category 1 or 2 at the most when it is forming, dying down to most likely tropical storm level when it hits. We do see some flooding in that area from rain.
Right now, the stocks are being pumped up artificially through the Federal Reserve and the banking system. That's forcing the stocks to go higher in a bubble. Everybody knows it's a bubble.
This will not continue, although we do not see a big dump of the market or devaluation of the market that would bring failure to many. We do not see this. We do see some decline that is reasonable in nature and to be expected, but we also see much growth that is not as expected that will take place. Many people are expecting the fall and decline of the markets. We say there will be some of this, but not to the extent that some are predicting, and it will bounce back and be even stronger.
Are you primarily talking about the U.S. stock market and economy?
Yes.
And lastly, they asked about Digibyte and when Digibyte is going to rise up and start making gains like it should already.
We see it getting really close. There is much more than the virus going on. The virus is real, but there are many other things expressing at the same time. In addition, there are many mechanisms going on throughout the world. We see that there has been an international agreement to reset currencies and overall priorities throughout the world. Not everyone is in agreement on how to do this, but all are in agreement it must be done for the benefit of all. And these nations wish for a mutual reset, as there is no coming back from the previous systems. They must be taken out, which looks like it will be done slowly, and replaced with a new system. They're very close to doing so. Hello, I'm Sharon Michelle. Thank you for joining us today. Just to introduce to you myself and my background. Many years ago, I had my first near-death experience. In this experience, I was given the opportunity to come back only if I promised to do something to help and to serve others the rest of my life, which I readily agreed to. I was also advised that I would be given the way to do this. I found out shortly afterwards that suddenly I could do psychic readings and began to do so As time went along, I was also led to study astrology, hypnosis, past life regression, and soul retrieval. All of these methods can be used to give you a peek into your own future. If I can help you with any of these methods, please feel free to contact me on my websites listed following this video. In addition, I have started a Patreon page where I do weekly updates on world events and events in the stock market, cryptocurrency, gold and silver, and other areas that are of interest to my followers. If we can help you in any way with this, please feel free to join our Patreon page through the link following. For the private consultations, you would contact me through my websites listed following. Look forward to speaking to you soon, and welcome any of you who want to join us either following our YouTube videos or our Patreon page. Thank you.